Okay, in my last video I said that I would decide what languages I was going to learn by the 30th of May, and it is the 30th of May, and I have decided. So I'm going to tell you all about what languages I've decided to pick, unless I put it in the description, in which case, spoiler alert, you already know what it is. But first, I'm going to go get my haircut. Okay, we're good to go. Let's do a bit of cinema magic here. Hang on. Boom. There we go. Ah. What do you think?
Good.
Okay. Maybe a bit of light though. Oh, there we go. Look at that. That is studio quality professionalism right there. Okay, I said that I'd made my decision, and I have. I spent a week thinking about this, and I tried to think about all the different languages that I talked about in my last video. If you haven't seen it, you can see the link here. No, probably there actually. I'm still getting the hang of left and right because my screen shows me it back to front. Anyway. So I spent a week thinking about what languages I want to learn, and I have decided that I'm going to learn French. Do you like that? I enjoyed that little flag. Anyway. So what I have booked so far is 1 month in Paris, that's going to be July, and 1 month in Lyon, that's going to be August. So I'll be doing 20-hour-a-week classes, which is as close to full-time as you can get without paying a bloody fortune. And I've paid my deposits, I've paid my Airbnb stuff in full, so that is all in the diary, 100% happening. Really good news. So why French? I made a whole video about how I love all these different languages, how I really love the idea of doing basically any language that exists, and I had to chop it down. So there's a few different reasons why I thought I would do French. A good first reason, I think, is that the countries that speak French are places that I would really like to visit. I mean, France obviously would be a really great place to go and spend time in, and that's where I'm going to go and learn it. And then there's the whole use of French in North Africa, which I spoke about in my other video, and that's an area that I really want to explore, and ultimately I think it's that geographical mix from the language that you get that kind of made it win over something like Spanish, for example. So a second reason, I think, is the French culture and the written and the literature. There are so many like French films I could go and see, so much French literature I could go and read. It's kind of overwhelming almost, the amount of material that exists that would help you learn it, A, but also that you would then be able to access much more readily. Another point, which is where I might stray into insulting French people, is that the standard of English I've found when you go to France isn't necessarily super high. Sorry, friends. When I've been learning German and I go and speak to somebody and I try and speak my best German to them, even now at like B2 level German, we should probably speak English because their English is so good that it would be by far the easier language of the two to speak. Now in French, I think as soon as you got to maybe an A2 or a B1 level French, you're actually going to swap over to French being the much easier language for you two to have a conversation in, which for me is a really important thing because I really want that encouragement to speak French. I really want that to be the default language that I reach to when I'm in that country. I think that's the important thing. It's an easy language to immerse yourself in because the culture is so set up on the assumption that you're going to speak French and you're going to engage. At the moment, my plan would be French for, I think, 4 or 5 months. It ends up being 4.5 because in November, I go to one of my friends' weddings in Australia. So I'm going to take 2 weeks out of whatever I'm doing to fly over to Australia, go and see their wedding. And then I'll have December where I think I might be free. I might do a bit of traveling, maybe do some interrailing around French-speaking areas. That could be a really good way to practice the skill that I've just learned. But I think that would be a good point to take a bit of a pause and have a bit of an explore. Come home for Christmas, and then from January onwards, I would move over to the second language, which at the moment I'm pretty sure is going to be Arabic. But that's really far away, and I'm encouraging myself not to worry about it too much. Like, it's nice to have that in the back of my mind, but in reality, I'm not going to book anything even remotely to do with Arabic until November this year. That's months and months away. Okay, so I just wanted to do a short video today to let you guys know that I'd come to that decision. I promised that I would set my arbitrary life goal of having done it by the 30th, and I have done it by the 30th now. So that's it, French and Arabic. I can't wait to get started. I've got another fortnight here in KL, and then a month back in the UK, and then I go. The more I think about it and the closer it gets to reality, the more it starts to feel, I guess, in theory, other people might say, you know, you're taking a risk, you're doing something really big, you know, what's your plan afterwards? I guess those sorts of questions never really came into my mind, and I guess now I'm realising that perhaps they should have, but the point at which I have committed has already gone past. Hey, it's going to be an adventure, and that's what I wanted. So thanks so much for watching. So please click the button of my face here if you would like to subscribe to get more of these videos. There'll also be a list of other videos that you might want to check out from me on the other side. But until then, thanks so much, and I'll catch you next time.